Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a bucket. It's based off of the item. Somebody asked me to make a 3D bucket, so a 3D bucket I have made. I couldn't get things perfect. This was my final attempt and best attempt at making it. I think it looks pretty bucket-like. I tried to get as close to the item as possible, but I pretty much failed. This is what it would look like realistically if you followed the pattern on the actual item, followed the colour scheme and everything. It ends up looking like a giant metal plant pot. So, yeah. But this, I think this is much more realistic. Much harder than you'd think. And secondly, I know it's just a bucket. I've got some good videos coming up, or at least I hope so. I've got a house tutorial that I'm going to be making this weekend. I've got my Cap 40 that I'm going to be making this weekend out of Black Ops 2. I made one of those. My Halo Energy Sword and my VTOL warship. And then, not too long after you see my next house tutorial, I'll hopefully have some other house related stuff because I've been busy. So yeah, if you want to make the bucket, let me get the hood on. If you want to make the bucket, let me also get the picture up. You're going to need black wool, grey wool, white wool, and I don't think you actually need anything else. Oh, that's right, you'll also need stone, silverfish stone, doesn't matter, they look the same, it's all good. So, by the way, this bucket is actually, if the bucket was to be 3D, the item, it's not. I don't know if you've seen it. Let me just get it out real. That's. God damn it. Controller is failing me. Yeah, if you can see it, it's not 3D whatsoever. So I basically had to make everything up. But it is actually as tall as that bucket would be, and it is actually as wide as that bucket would be. By the way. So, well, actually, it's not exactly as wide as the bucket would be, but it's pretty much the best that I could do, and unless somebody else has done better, I'm crowning it the best bucket on YouTube. So, what you want to do is you want to start off with a row of 6 black blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, from either side, doesn't matter, you're going to be doing the same thing on the other side. You want to do an upright diagonal, throw one on top. And from there, another upright diagonal, throw 2 on top. Then another upright diagonal, throw 3 on top. There's a pattern there. And then do the same thing on the other side. So, right diagonal, 1 on top, upright diagonal, 2 on top, upright diagonal, 3 on top. Is that all even? Yes, it is. Alright, so we're going to make this bucket a little 3D. So coming towards us from this top black block here, top black block, blah blah, tongue twister. You want to do like a diagonal coming towards you, just a single one, then another, then go 1 to the right, then do another diagonal, and go 3 to the right. Then you want to, I'm going to swap sides just because it's easy, then you want to do a diagonal coming towards you, then 1 to the right, and then a diagonal coming towards you, so it all joins up nice and neat like that. Isn't that great? Alright. So you want to have that. Pause that if you have to, that should be pretty easy to follow up until this point. So, from here, you want to bring the bucket, you want to make the width of the bucket. So you want to bring this black block towards you by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just to make sure that I'm right, because I've been known to mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's right. You want to have that as 5. And do the same thing on the other side as well. Bring it towards you 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then, what you want to do is you want to connect those 2 long pieces of black the same way that you did those other 2. So, you want to go 1 coming towards you, then another diagonal, add 1, another diagonal, add 3, swap sides, another diagonal, add 1, another diagonal, 1. So, you have this so far. You can see the shape on top. Easy enough to replicate. Right, so what you want to do from this point here, you want to do the frame, like what you already have, you want to copy it. So from this point, you want to come down by, how many is it? 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you want to do a bottom left diagonal, come down by 2, then a bottom left diagonal, come down by 1, bottom left diagonal, go to the left 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then up left diagonal, 1 on top, up left diagonal, 2 on, 2 on top, up left diagonal, go up until you hit black. There you go. And you can see why I wanted to put 4 grey in there, just to make sure that I didn't mess up. It's not unheard of that I mess up, it's an unfortunate shortcoming of mine. So, what we're going to do now is, just while we're here, I'm going to connect these two up on the bottom. Not that you'll be able to see them later, actually you will kind of, but there we go. So that's what you want to have, you want the framework. You're pretty much about 70% done at this point, and it's almost going to get dark. But we will persist on a little bit. No, we won't actually. I'll be back when it's light, because I like the light. Alright, so we're sleeping out with the way it can only get lighter. So we're going to start making the outside of the bucket. So, I've said so, well, now 4 times in the past, I don't know, 20 seconds. Right, I was just about to say so again. You want to, from this black here, you want to use the light grey, and we'll put the highlights in and stuff later because it's just easier. You want to bring this black, you want to match up the light grey with the black, and you want to bring it as far down as, as far down as here. So to, like, you know, the most outer row of black, if you know what I mean. But you should understand pretty well after I finish. You can see what I'm doing. Just bringing the black in line with there. And now what you want to do, you see how it's all layered? Basically, you want to do the same thing, except 1 row back until you reach the bottom. Well, not until you reach the bottom, but let me show you again. Hard to explain, easy to realise what I'm doing. So, so you want to have this. You see? So I've just brought it 1 row back, and yeah, 1 row back, 1 row inwards, whichever way you like. Make sure that it's all in line with the black rows, and then we can do the same for the inside as well. So that will be there, that will be there, and this will be, whoops, this will be here. Right, I know it's a bit messy on the inside, but we'll talk about that a little later. So you can see, there we go, you've got the whole 3D bucket shape. Looks a bit better once you've got the colour toning in and such, but that is essentially what you want. So, pretty simple, isn't it? What I'm going to go and do is, I'm going to go and do that exact same thing to the other side. It's all symmetrical, it's all nice and neat, and I'm going to be back. Alright, so as you can see, this is the other side. The only way that you can tell that is because I have stuff in the background. It looks exactly the same as the other. No difference whatsoever, except it's a little tidier on the inside, ever so slightly. Not that much. So, on the side, now that we've moved on to that, we're going to do the exact same thing. So, in line with the black, just bringing it in, connecting the two rows of black together and all. I won't bother leaving for this one because it's so easy. Just connect them together all the way down, nice and simple, nice and easy. What could be better? Right, now that we have all of that out of the way, that's all fine and dandy, it's all filled in. Looking a bit bland. A little bit bland, I think we can admit that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some light and some darkness into this. So let me just do it, and I will show you. Putting in some white. So you can see, I actually came to the conclusion that the bucket had looked fine just with that little bit of white on there. But I figured it needs a little bit more effort than that. So what I then added was going all the way up this right side, the most far right that you can do. You want to, whoops. Just use the dark grey. Add a bit of darkness in there. Now, if you're happy with that, I was pretty happy with that. Then I'd probably leave it at that, do the same thing to the other side, bang, you've got your bucket. But what I then added, because I thought it was, and just to check, yep, because I thought it, you know, add a little bit more to it, although I don't know how much you'd want adding to a bucket, I added a little bit more colour, just a little bit. So I did this. And did I do anything else? I'm using that other bucket for reference because I can't remember. That's right, and then what I did was I took out the clay, and on the other side I added just a little bit of clay there. Did I go down? I did, but I think that looked... No, wait. Hang on, we'll do the next bit. Yeah, that's what I did. I'd stop with the adding the colours and everything until you were happy with it, personally. If it were up to me, what I'd do, I would simply add in the white, maybe the clay, and the dark grey on the side, and I would be happy with that. But options. The second bit, before I go away, is I also added a little bit of clay, although I didn't use clay in the original, but I'd use it in this one after re-evaluating. Just added a bit of clay to the side. You know, just once again, where did I add it? Not adding it on the same side on both sides. Just to give it a little bit more colour, so it's not just a giant grey blob with some other grey added in. And there you go, that's what I've done for the sides, that's what I've done for the front, but in true symmetricality, is that a word? Who knows? It is now. What I'm going to do is, I'm not going to do this while recording, I'm going to throw this on the other side, except I'm not going to like mirror it on, I'm going to swap the white around onto the other side, I'm going to swap the grey onto the other side, etc, etc, so I'll be back in a sec. There we go, doesn't that look dandy? So, like I said, it's not mirrored onto the other side, as you can see. I just did it the opposite way around. And actually, I took the UI off the hood. But what I wanted to say was, if you're that bothered, I wasn't. I'm not going to be. You could also fill in this bit. You could either coat it with light grey, so it's all, you know, one colour on the inside, and it's all nice and even, and it's all lead. So it's all nice and smooth, all bucket-like, all authentic. Or you could simply just fill off the top, maybe put a load of black on top, or maybe put a load of grey on top and fill it in. It's up to you. Like I said, I'm not really that bothered, but for the screenshot, let me take it. I want to take it from the other side. So I've got a... There we go. But yeah, that's the bucket. Like I said, more exciting things to come, hopefully, over the weekend. Not when this gets posted, either the day after this gets posted, or at the very latest the day after this gets posted. 2 days after. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hey, if you've made it this far into the video, maybe you think I deserve a like. If you want to, comment, and if you're new here, maybe you should think about subscribing. I put out new content at least every other day. And for my fellow video makers, if you're interested in a YouTube partnership, click the link below in the description.